and welcome everybody to I'm going to call it a spoilercast or the spoiler discussion, whatever you fancy calling it, for the first three episodes of Amazon Prime's Invincible series, which, if you haven't read, by the way, it's 50% off on Comixology right now. There's the three omnibuses, so please go read it. It's really, really, really damn good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as always, I'm Mitch. You can follow me on Twitter at Mitch692, and once again, I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, you can follow me right here and only here.
Right. So, first impression.
I liked it. I almost compared it to The Boys. My experience with The Boys a little bit because of a little bit similar. Superheroes, violence, ultra violent. I think it made me want to see The Boys more animated versus the live action stuff. I loved it. Spot on. The animation's great. The story for what it is really good. It's fun. The violence. What I love about the violence is it makes sense, and I think the animation, the way it's animated, it looks great. Because I had a problem with that with The Boys, obviously. But here, I thought I don't know, it was something that attracted me more versus The Boys. But I still like The Boys, but I think I would put Invincible over The Boys right now.
100%.
The first three episodes.
I'd absolutely agree. I'd absolutely agree that this is, at least for the first three, I think this is off to a stronger start.
Yeah.
The boys took a while to grab me. I haven't read the entire thing. I've only read the first 44 issues or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it is fantastic. It's honestly one of the best superhero stories you could read right now. And
it almost. Oh,
what were you gonna say, sorry?
I was gonna say it almost does what The Boys does better than The Boys. Where it self-parodies the superhero genre. It does it a little bit better for me.
Yeah. It's very much. I can't think when Invincible started. I'm not sure if it was 2000 or not. I know it ran on for a while.
Yeah.
Even though it's only 144 issues, but it went on for a while. But the animation. They tried to catch. I believe it was Ryan Utley from the start, the current Amazing Spider-Man artist. But
yeah.
For the most part, at least the look of it, they're spot on. I think.
Yeah.
I think in some places you can tell Amazon was a bit worried about this, and it kind of. It's a typical. You can see the cut corners in it. There's one point where he's flying, and they just literally moving his frame up and down. It's just oh, Amazon, you shouldn't have done it. You done it a bit dirty. You could have,
well, they have all the money in the world. They should be doing.
Exactly. I'm hoping with the buzz around it, and it's gonna carry on for a next season. There's no way they cancel this. But I'm hoping they throw a bit more money behind it to get that better animation, because it's not the best. It looks fantastic, just as it is, but it's the movement is very tween motions. It's odd.
I like. Yeah, I mean, I never read the comic until now. Because I really didn't know what the story was. I might have Wikipedia'd it once or twice, but yeah. I mean, I thought it was you could say it's a deconstruction of a superhero.
I say it plays on a lot of tropes, and it tried to modernize the tropes at the time. It is very tropey, but at the same time, it's a very unique being in comics. It's so it's the typical Spider-Man character, but it's not.
Yeah,
it takes so many twists and turns, and you hear people talk about it that read the entire thing, and they're like, "There's not a single bad issue. It's just consistently good and just ups itself every time."
Well, I mean, the thing about the tropes thing is you can never avoid that. Using tropes. It's just how you use it. That's how. How do you use these tropes? You can use them in, you can be a little bit more innovative how using it, and I think that the Invincible has done that, to a better, I would 100% think that this is better than The Boys. I know it's blasphemy, when it comes to certain people, but yeah, I mean, the first 3 episodes are strong, man. Like, I sat down and I think I watched it straight through.
So they're a nice length as well, and it's odd
Yeah.
for a cartoon or any animation to be 45 minutes.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be like 30-minute like chunks, but like
So,
I looked at it, I was like,
I want to say they said like an hour or something, but it's like
Yeah.
everyone says an hour, and it's like, you're rounding up clearly. All right,
Yeah.
let's not round up. Can we just say exactly what things are these days?
Yeah,
I've been heartbroken too many times. Looking at you, Mark.
Yeah, I think when I first saw the runtime, I was kind of worried because I was like, how can they string this out for this long? Because like a lot of animation.
See, here's the thing with the runtime as well. They move fast in this. It goes like spoilers. The end of the first episode where you had the big Omni-Man reveal, and he just annihilates the Guardians of the Globe. Which, by the way, is far more brutal here than it ever was in the book. I don't know if the sound design helped a lot about it, but it's just like, whoa, they've turned him up a little bit.
I think it might have been the sound design.
Yeah, which everyone's talking about that scene, and that's exactly what I was waiting for. It's just like, yeah, everyone. That's the first big hook of that series. But that's that doesn't happen straight away. I want to say it's a good 7 issues in, and they've moved a lot of stuff around. Like a lot of events in these episodes don't happen until later on.
Yeah.
Or even or not even in that order. It's just like, hang on a minute.
I think, like most comic book or even TV shows that are like kind of, they're, taking source material. They're always bending it around to what fits.
Yeah, but it seems odd because as well, like Amber. The girlfriend Amber, like he doesn't meet her straight away. There's a whole thing with Eve.
Yeah,
and like he meets the I always want to call them the Teen Titans, but I know it's not Teen Titans, but the Teen Heroes. Like he meets those way before the alien invasion. Yeah, and it's just like you're watching it. Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's like this is weird. It's weird that it's out of order. Like it's just the pacing was, or not even. It's not even the pacing of it. The speed at which they go through a lot of events was jarring for someone that's read at least the first part of it. It's just like, this is nuts. Like I don't know how long this thing's going to go on for.
Yeah. I love the whole. And can we talk about the voice cast a little bit? Because
the voice cast is fantastic. What a bunch of guys.
I think out of all of them, I'm a huge fan of Jason Mantzoukas, and to hear his voice.
Rex Explode? Oh, he's fantastic. He took me so out of that. I'm like, I know this guy's voice from somewhere, and I can't think what it is. And it's like, of course, it's him. Oh, God, no. Never known his name. I know his face.
And J.K. Simmons, it's like the cast is really fucking solid. Really solid. And I think that's another thing I list when I'm listening to something that is being voiced like cartoons. I always try to figure to see if the person that's voicing it kind of fits the character. And a lot of these things, I'm like, yeah, perfect.
The only
Walter Goggins.
I think the only one. I think there might actually be 2. I think William and Amber, the only 2 they've changed slightly. In this, I'm not sure if they've made William LGBT in this or not. I assume they have, just purely because of the way he's been portrayed. Yeah. But he's not like that. So it's like, you know what? He doesn't change his character in the slightest. Fair play. Amber's the biggest change because she's like the stereotypical white cheerleader. And in this, she's Zazie Beetz, so they've made her. They've obviously changed her up a little bit. The attitude's still the same, but it's just like. The first time I watched it, I didn't know they did that, and I was like, "Who is this character? I don't recognize her in the slightest." And it's like, "Oh, it's Amber. What the hell? That's different."
What I have a suspicion that it might be just I don't want to say pandering to the group.
I think it's just to modernize the whole high school situation, though.
Yeah, and give a voice to each type of group, maybe, because like you said, the characters aren't drastically changed. It's just slightly tweaked, just a little bit, nothing, significant. Yeah, I loved all the voice acting. Every time.
Are we gonna say sorry?
I was gonna say every time I hear Rick explode, I start laughing because I know that voice is always because Jason Mantzoukas, I love him, fucking hilarious.
I would say he's funny. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's funny in the show and funny in real life.
I say there's one bit that it didn't irk me that they taken out, but it's just an ongoing joke, at least in what I've read. Like when Cecil teleports, that's he just has that in the show. In the book, it comes about later on. It's just this brand new technology that costs $1 billion every time he uses it, and he's just freely using it whenever he wants. And it's he just does it. And I was like, oh, I was looking forward to that joke coming back, but it's all right, it's an adaptation. Fine, I get it. But
did you notice that Seth Rogen's character?
There's two perfect castings in this scene. And it's JK as Omni-Man, it's Seth Rogen as I think his name's Alan. I can't remember the alien's name.
Alan, yeah.
But
Alien.
they are spot on.
Yeah, I'm not I'm a fan of Seth Rogen, but every time I close my eyes, I picture him in that. So it's the only one that
you always know it's Seth Rogen as well. He never changes. Yeah. It's just that's Seth Rogen.
I gotta be honest with you though, and I love Stephen Yeun, but he did not sound like Stephen Yeun in TV show.
He plays Grayson, right?
Yeah, he plays Grayson.
Yeah,
he sounds a little different, but I think all around the cast is great.
It's definitely one of the best.
Sandra Oh.
I've seen it. It's so good. Also, I believe all the Guardians of the Globe are played by Walking Dead actors. Which it's just funny because it's The Walking Dead. It's they literally just last an episode and die off. Cool. And obviously, B, it's Kirkman, so he gets all them on there.
Yeah. I think this Kirkman's one of the Kirkman's best IPs that he has. I mean, I don't even
hands down.
Yeah, The Walking Dead, I think was just the hey, get me to the dance type project, in my opinion. But I think Invincible shows what he is capable of doing.
Part of me really wishes this was live action though. I would have given anything to have this series.
Well, I think they are making a live action. I think Seth Rogen is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and Adam Goldberg, and I think they even talked about it at one point. I don't know. I can't remember what podcast it was. It might have been a recent Fat Man on Batman with Kirkman on there. He did say that they were him. Rogan, that's how they got Rogan into the voice role. Is hey, you're making the live action, you and Adam Goldberg. Why don't you come over and play a character, So
well, yeah, there is a god. I now.
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just
it's nice that we actually have a comic adaptation that is a cartoon that is animated because it still has that same visual look to everything, so it feels like it should feel. At the same time, it's this thing deserves it deserves a more mainstream appeal. Even if it was just a series, I say just a series, a movie or a series, it doesn't matter which. Ideally, personally, in the minute, a series, because there's just so much fleshing out of these characters.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I love the first 3 episodes are strong. Hopefully, it kind of steadies, plateaus at this level, and that's just a little bit.
I also want to slow down.
You can never, you can never 100% guarantee that each episode is going to be the best, but if you can consistently make each episode good, then I think it's a win.
If it sticks to the comics like it's doing, and even moving stuff around, there's not going to be a single bad episode. It's just going to be consistently good because there's a ton of stuff coming up. I think this is only going to be 8 episodes this first season. The speed they're going, there's going to be a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah, and the best part about it is Kirkman's hands on with this, projects. So
he's really involved, which honestly surprised me a little bit because that Amazon years ago we talked about the channel. I'm not sure if it's me or you and me and Joe had talked about it, but they were doing an East of West adaptation with Hickman. And that just ended up Hickman walking away with the rights, and it's just what happened? Come back. I need that to happen.
I mean, knowing that I know, walking away from like things like this isn't always the end of like working relationships. You know, like you put the right amount of money in front of somebody, they're gonna be like, okay,
I mean,
sure,
true,
why not?
but at least on Hickman's part, he has said like he's not going to shop his stuff around or even like take off. So like Amazon kind of killed the dream on that end, but hey.
Or maybe this is Amazon saying sorry, you know, like, hey, you know, like we know we messed up, you know. Here,
I'd hope
let's
so.
do this.
Because honestly, I'm at the point where it's like just give Amazon every image thing. No,
yeah, I mean, I think
get monstrous, get sex criminals, rat queens.
It's the perfect place for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's a perfect place for it, you know, like Amazon is not like regulated by any like, you know, one cable channel, you know, so like you can have mature things on there, and then you also got the budget, you know, like with having all like 90% of all the money in the world, you know, like this company it won't be cheap, you know, putting this stuff together. So
yeah, because it was supposed to be a sex criminals book years ago as well. It's just like give me that sex criminal show. I absolutely need that book. Give Zdarsky his due, please.
Like the success of this show could mean open the door for more of the projects.
That's honestly what I'm hoping, because they done,
you know,
like with the boys in this, they've done such a good job.
Well, I think you know what it is. I think Amazon, in a way, is looking for their Marvel and their DC.
Yeah.
And I think Image could be that perfect fit for them, you know, because it's like you're not paying like royalties at the butt, you know. You could buy out the rights for these shows, you know, and like not have to, or the other way around, just like, hey, you know, like Image is more plausible for them, and I think it's a better.
Yeah, because you're only buying like one IP at a time, aren't you? You're not getting the entire load of it.
Overall, yeah, like because it's like, isn't Image is still that creator-owned type?
Yeah,
you know,
there's no.
So you're not negotiating for every right on in the company. You're just individually going to each person and saying, hey, how much money do you want for that?
It's like, hey, Amazon, do God Country. You want to do something really different and really nuts? Get Donny Cates on the phone and do God Country. I know he wrote the script for a movie or something recently, but it's like there's been no word on that. Like, hey, Amazon, do God Country. That would sell. That would shift.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, I wish Scalped was an Image book. Is it an Image book?
What was it? Sorry,
is it a DC Image? Scalped.
Scalped.
I forgot that was. I thought it was like Vertigo or something like that, but like I think Donny Cates was involved with that, writing that. I might be making that up. So.
I know it's Vertigo. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think Image.
That was Jason Aaron, by the way.
Okay, I'm off. I lied. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Image is like the perfect company to. It's like kind of like a la carte type place where you can just pick and choose what you want, and not necessarily have to pay stupid amount of money for any of that stuff. I'm sure if they walked up to, you know, try to get sex criminals, it wouldn't be like a ton of money.
Zdarsky would pay them money to make sex criminals. I think the only one they'll struggle to get is Brian K. Vaughan's Saga and Fiona Staples. Like Saga's gonna be out of any book, Saga's the big one.
Yeah, I think
get Saga, you're fine.
Saga's an Image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, like Brian K. Vaughan, I'm sure if you put the right amount of money in front of him, man, like I think that's a
big number.
Yeah, but like, number. I think that's the type of show that kind of it's like a staple for a studio. It's like, you know, it's like one of those shows is like everybody wants to see it, and if you get it and you make it correctly, I think people would go, you know, straight to your service, you know, like that's service. If it wasn't on Amazon Prime, I would find whatever service it was on and watch it.
Same. I'd do anything to watch that, especially live action. I know it wouldn't really particularly work in live action. I don't feel like it would definitely have to be animated, but if they could ever pull that off in live action, goddamn.
I mean, a lot of people said a lot of things about a lot of movies saying it couldn't be done live action.
They did, but none of them was Saga. Saga's like Saga's the holy grail of this could not be done.
But if you do, I mean, I feel like a show, like a book like that, you have to keep on the creative people that put that show together, put that book together.
They lost like Staples and Vaughan, and don't even bother. Don't even.
Yeah. Well, it's like it'd be kind of a bastardization of that, you know, 'cause, like you those are the people that are going to fight to keep the good stuff, you know, not like just cut, you know, and like go around, you know. But it's like it's the creators that want to fight for those moments, you know, that people love.
I think you're walking into a dead zone, by the way.
Am I? Can you hear me?
I can, but you're going all robot every now and then.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll see if I can find. How's it? Is it better now?
I think so. Say something else.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it sounds better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in an eternal dead zone right here, so it's like trying to find the spots. But yeah, I loved Invincible. You know, I had a bit of a problem finding a VPN service that allowed me to watch my Amazon Prime account.
That's unfortunate for you. That's
really. Well, I mean,
but then again,
I think
from the sounds of it, a ton of people struggled to watch it when it dropped.
Yeah, I think it had. I mean, it's like all the shows that you want to see have that problem. I mean, like look at Disney Plus. I mean, like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they all had this issue.
At least from what I've seen, no one's been really talking about this show. It's only a few people that have actually read it. I know tons of people have read this book. It went on for like nearly 20 years, for God's sake. But no one was really talking about this series specifically. And then when it came out, it's suddenly everyone's talking about it. It's just like, where did this come from?
And well deserved. I mean, like it's like a hidden gem, you know. Like I personally have heard of it, but I've never read it until now.
I say it's always been one of those where it's like I need to read this thing. It's been on my list for like 6 years at this point. It's like I need to get around to this. And then this year I was like, you know what, stuff it. I'm just actually gonna buy it and Comics read it.
I was gonna say I think I bought it a long time ago when it was like it might have been on sale and I just never got around to reading it, you know.
So but like definitely worth the read.
But that's definitely that's a good sign that like the show is doing that its job, you know. It's like they're like anytime you see like you hear a music on that you like in a music video, and you're like, holy, I want to hear that, and you just start looking for it on Apple iTunes or whatever, or movies or whatever, you know, like that's when you know that a property is doing its job. It's like everybody's looking for that, you know, that older stuff.
I'm just trying to. I can't figure out how they're gonna play each episode. Because obviously, you got to have the cliffhanger at the end. It's a TV show, a cartoon. Is that? It's like with the way they're handling stuff. It's like I can't figure it. Like I thought I knew what the third cliffhanger was gonna be. it wasn't anything like that at all. I'm just like, I have no idea where they're going with this.
But I think that's good though. You know, like you know.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
Because I'm gonna say like the people that have read the property are probably assuming that they know what's going on. You know, it's like no, the show this. That, I mean, it's the same with The Walking Dead. You know, if you want to, like, they changed everything, and it, you know, the people that love that show still watch that show, and you know, so I think Kirkman. I think like I said, I think that Kirkman being involved is beneficial for them. So whatever they did to keep him or get him back or whatever, they were well worth the money.
I'll say, don't do. Was it AMC that's got The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't do that.
don't do an AMC. Don't lose the golden goose. If you want another golden egg, you don't lose Kirkman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody at Amazon Prime Video or Amazon, so I don't know. Can't speak for that, but like they seem to I think I get at least keep creators around, you know. So it's good.
I think especially after The Boys with like Seth Rogen being attached. It's just like, you know what? You gave us The Boys. You got a bit more. He's a bit more leash. There you go.
Can I take a minute and just say that it's funny to listen to people say, because Seth Rogen did this.
It's really odd, isn't it? It's really. It's like wow, Superbad was a thing years ago, and like that guy's doing well.
Well, I think the best thing that he's ever done is just focus on producing stuff versus like being in stuff, because like, you know, I think that's what probably got him to the dance, and that's probably why he was doing it. But like, I think he's more focusing on the producing and you know, producing new content and stuff that he wants to see, you know, and like, God bless him, man. You know, like
I'll say he's like the nerd that everyone wants to be. It's just like, you know, what? I'm in a spot where I can, like, I love this crap. I need more of it. I can get this done. No,
like, even if you're not a fan of him, you got to thank him at least, you know, for bringing some of this stuff to light, you know, and like you may not like all his stuff, but like you can't deny that some of the stuff.
Yes, he was the dude that made Sausage Party, but he's given us Invincible.
Yeah, well, I think the best part about him is like he just does what he wants to do, whatever makes him laugh. Yeah, he probably just says, you know what, I think that's worth investing in or doing something, you know, and like. I say about 90% of the time he's correct, with 10% being, you know, Sausage Party didn't need to be existing, because it made me cringe every time I walk into a like a grocery store. I just can't do it without going, huh.
I unironically love that movie. It's so it's such a bad movie, but it gets me every time.
It gets me crazy, man. Like it's BS crazy, you know, like it's.
It's a glimpse into the mind of someone that's ridiculously high.
Yeah, he's almost a better version of Kevin Smith at this point. So
he actually, at the rate he's going, he's going to be the better Kevin Smith. Right.
I mean, I love Kevin Smith, but like you can hear, like he's very biased on things. So it's like with Seth Rogen, like in every interview, he just kind of says what he thinks. You know, like if he doesn't like it, he usually says it. You know.
I'd say Kevin Smith. I don't think there's. Say Kevin Smith likes everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, to a detriment. I think. If you can listen to the last podcast about the Snyder Cut, it's like you can't. You have to be objective about a lot of things, and it was good to have like a person like Mark Bernard on the other side, not stroking off Zack Snyder while they talk, you know. But like I think that's the pleasing part of him, that he wants to just please everybody. It's like, I don't think that's entertaining to listen to just say, oh yeah, I love it. You know, it's like when it's bad, then say it's bad. Don't be afraid to offend somebody, you know, because they're going to be offended regardless of what you say. You might as well say what you want to say.
That's true. It's a good point.
You know, like
what I do. It's like, you know what, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me too. I have to be filtered a little bit, but like if I don't like it, I usually try to like articulate the fact what I don't like, you know, and like sometimes I'm trying to be funny about it, but like there's sometimes I'm just dead serious. Like, it's like it's just a bad movie or a bad show or whatever, you know. Like you can't like everything. So I mean, objectively, you know, it's I don't know. Anyways, I think Seth Rogen was a perfect fit for getting the show off the ground, or
100%. I say they did Monster Girl good. They did Monster Girl proud. That's all I cared about. I adore she's the backbone of that book for me. She carries everything.
It's just some of the dialogue is just so crazy to listen to, because it's like it all goes back to the fact that I think the boys, they do what the boys are supposed to do better than the boys, because like
I say the boys was they're working off of really edgy garbage. Like
90s.
edgy for the sake of it, like that mid 2000s. Like, no, I'm just out to offend anything. I don't give a crap. Yeah. It's like, okay.
But like that Monster Girl interaction with Rexplode, it was funny. I laughed out loud. I literally laughed out loud. I was like, that is the funniest. And then like to have her explain that she's a 20-year-old woman trapped, and like when Robot Man was like, hey, we got to practice X amount of hours in a day. It's like, well, if you want to change my diaper, sure.
I think they made her young. I think they made her younger in it. I don't think she's like 23. I think she's more like in her 30s.
But this is funny, like to hear. You know, it's like you're what your eyes are seeing a 15-year-old girl, and then she's telling you that she's gonna, like, if you want me to change my diapers, sure, I can do that. You know, it's like that's not edgy to be edgy's sake. That's just funny dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, it's just funny,
I just love her. So she was so. I wasn't expecting to see her straight away, and like part of me's like, with how quick this went, thank God we got her straight away because
Yeah.
people need to know who Monster Girl is because she's fantastic. Love
Black
that
Samson, funny.
Oh,
I thought that was a funny. I thought it was a funny interaction. It's like, it's just all kind of works better.
I'll say that I don't think apart from like a few wonky animation frames, it's like there's nothing. I can't pick out anything I didn't like about it. Extremely biased because I adore what I've read of the book so far, and if no one's read it, you'll just read like at least 7 issues. You'll understand what I mean. Like, I don't know anyone that's not read that book and not liked it. It's crazy. It's just like universally loved.
Well, I mean, the show is definitely that next evolution of that book, and the live action as as kind of standoffish I am with live action stuff. With this, I'm still interested to see what can be done.
Oh, there's a lot more coming. There's a lot more coming. Stuff.
Definitely a hidden gem, that's for sure.
And more people need to watch it, and that's why we're doing this right now. Because I think you should watch it. If you're still listening to this half an hour in, then you still need to watch it.
Me too. Definitely recommend on that. Like at least the first 3 episodes. Just try it. I
was gonna say, if you don't make it past the first, if you get to the end of that first episode and you're not in, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because I don't know anyone that saw it coming, and like you never see it coming. And when you read the book, you don't see it coming. Just like wow.
And I love what they can do with violence because in animation versus because again I'm trying not to make a comparison to The Boys, but it's hard to find anything else like it. But like the violence in The Boys is just kind of like there, but in the Invincible, it's just like it's a part of the storyline, like it's just he's not hitting the person's head off its body because it's just there's the element of the story you're not seeing yet, but it's there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
versus
definitely
like a thing called
huge
like
reason behind it. Like the Boys is definitely more gratuitous in that fact, but I think the concept of they are slightly different concepts.
Yeah.
So it's not like the closest comparison as you said, but it's kind of difficult.
I'm trying not to compare it to just The Boys, but it's like I'm trying to find.
It's kind of. I always looked at it as like if you take Ultimates like the Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man, like the 1610 version, and made it R-rated. That's more what you're looking at.
Yeah, because it's not gratuitous like violence. It's like there are people getting cut in half and stuff like that, but it's like there's a reason why they're getting cut in half versus like something just to shock you, And
you don't just have a dick of a character just being a dick because he's super strong or whatever.
When you said that, I just thought of less sausage.
No.
Sorry, but I love the aliens that they were fighting. Like,
I thought that actually, you know what? That bit it didn't irk me, but the fact that they were so quick to bring them back for the second round, I'm just like, it's like, you know what? If you make these guys just to run it, I don't know if they're completely recurring in the book. I know they've appeared more than twice in what I've read. But it's like if you just keep this recurring, even though spoilers, episode 2, like Omni-Man just obliterates that planet, which you don't see in the book, which was interesting. I thought it was interesting because in the book, he goes away, and then he's out of the book for a good 5 issues or something, and then they obviously do a time skip, and then he comes back. And this is just like, oh yeah, their time is a lot quicker than ours, which is the same as the book, but it's like, I'm there, I'm back. And it's just like, okay.
I love that. I love that part. That would have been funny for the whole series is just have random, alien attacks, and each time they're a little bit different.
I kind of hope that's how they play it, because having him destroy, or not even destroy everything, but a vast majority of that planet, you can kind of just use them as a recurring thing to bring back, and I kind of hope that's what they do.
Like a recurring gag or something like that for the
because it wasn't in the city in the book; it was just in a random desert. But the city makes more sense because it's a bit more high stakes in it.
A little bit more popular. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the show. Yeah, at least like I said, 3 episodes, solid.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it's now 1 a week. It's like, oh, can I have like 3? Just give me blocks of 3 and have like a 30-episode season, please. No.
It's like giving you 1 scoop of your favorite ice cream and saying like 2 weeks later you
Yeah, exactly.
another scoop.
So look, there's 3 compendiums, there's 144 issues. Split that up into blocks of 3 and do that each week. Go.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I read somewhere that they're doing that now. I think maybe from now on it shows in Amazon. Just
what, the first 3 and then the weekly?
I think I read that somewhere.
I say it would make sense. Was the Boys season 2 the first 3 and then weekly, or was it like first 2?
I
know it's more than 1.
Yeah, it might have been the first 2, but like, yeah, it's a different approach, you know, especially with shows that have like a season that's only like 6-8 episodes, you know, like I think you're 3/4 of the way through.
So I think it works better for some shows now. There's like WandaVision, the first 2. I know we're supposed to get the first 3, which would have made sense because it leaves you on a bit like you have your setup and something else, and then you cliffhanger a bit at the end of that. When with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't think the first 2 could have worked, but at the same time, I think you got enough with just the 1 because of the runtime. Having like 2 hours, I was just like, cool. I'm happy with 2 hours of this. Give me more.
Well, I think that them showing the first 3 episodes kind of link together, you know, and like the 3rd episode kind of leaves it off in a better place for the next episode. Versus, it almost feels like a little mini run in that season. Like,
oh yeah, it definitely feels like an entire arc has happened.
Yeah,
in those first episodes, I was like, damn, this was quick. But I do hope they slow down just a little bit. I hope it was only the first 3 that was just breakneck speed.
Yeah, it might be just like the first 3 episodes, just like a hook, you know, and like and now it kind of slows down.
It was very much like, but here's this, that, bam, 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 bam.
And now we're just gonna do a little character developing, you know, take it down a notch. We'll see.
They did. I think another thing I wasn't greatly fond of was how quickly they expect you to believe that Eve has a thing for Mark, and you know, she's introduced. There's no time spent with her. They completely glossed over the fact that those 2 team up for ages as a duo before they then meet the team. Not for ages, but at least a couple of issues, and then they meet the team. And it's just like
they kind of condensed it.
Yeah, it's just like he meets her with the team, bam, bam, bam. It's like, okay, you're not fair.
Now she goes on, and they'll go on like one adventure together.
Yeah, right? Now there's a whole thing of like them. They change into their costumes in high school because no one looks up anymore, or something like that. Which I quite like. You know, it's like, oh, why aren't you really hiding it? It's like, well, no one looks up. Everyone's looking down at their phones and whatnot, and it's like you should have had that in there, but I imagine they will at some point have that, but not right now. That's if I had to really pick apart something. I wasn't a huge fan of how quickly the pacing was with something. So they've missed a lot of character development. So.
Yeah, it's like they kind of sped it up a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit, I say. But
it's just, I think it's more to do with how they changed the order of things around. And it's like doing that, you miss out on this, and it's like, you know what? I still really enjoyed it. I still think it's the strongest like comic book cartoon adaptation debut in a long time.
Agreed.
I hope it leads to more, especially more Image stuff. That's my main one. It's about time the indie stuff got some love.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It's like this could open the door for all of that stuff to happen.
Oh, absolutely better.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Amazon to kind of a la carte some of this stuff.
Especially after it's getting a spin-off. Like, that you need more than 2 things. Like, come on, Amazon, step up.
Is the Boys Image too?
I don't think so. Hold on, let me have a look.
I can't remember what company it was.
Wildstorm and Dynamite.
Okay.
Wildstorm for the first 6, Dynamite from 7 to 72.
Okay, well, that it goes my theory.
it makes me laugh how every now and then you get like certain pages from the boys crop up and people are just like, what the fuck? Like, who's thought, what is this? It's like, thank God I haven't read this book and thank God I got a TV show.
Yeah. No, I tried to read The Boys and I'm like, yeah, this is not for me.
I wanted to, and then I was like, you know what? You see certain pages, like, you know what? I don't care.
Well, it's like the
I just couldn't care about it. You see people that start going, oh, The Boys is great. And as it goes along, people are like, yeah, the Boys book isn't good. It's just edgy crap for edgy
well,
sake.
it's
okay.
The people saying that usually are the people that are really huge fans of the show, and you just, you know, like I'm not trying to marginalize them, but like that's usually what happens. Like,
yeah. I think also a lot of it was just, oh, I read this thing in the mid 2000s and never again.
So sorry.
I haven't read it in like a decade. So,
yeah,
Rose the goggles plays a huge factor in people liking that, but yeah.
Anytime you create a character named Love Sausage, or what they did with the Mother's Milk's mother, and it's like, it's just not, it's gross, man. It's like just gross. I don't even know how to even say it otherwise. It's like, I'm not prude, but it's just gross, right? You know, like it's just, especially what they do with certain characters in the comic. It's just like, it's, you know, it's just like, it's not, it's like American Horror show for me. I like the first season, but everything after that just felt like, I'm going to see what I can do to shock people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, that's exactly what that comic was. It was just, or the comic was just like 100% run just like that. It's like, oh, I'm just going to put this image in.
Was it? It wasn't Ennis, was it? The Red Boys?
Might have been. I mean, it sounds like an Ennis thing, you know, like that. Like greeting the Ennis.
Oh no, it's Garth Ennis. Yeah, it's definitely a Garth Ennis.
Yeah, like, you know,
I was like, it's either Ennis, Miller. Mm-hmm. It's one of those people.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know. It was just kind of gross, and like, you know, the Invincible did do that for me. It wasn't like overtly, you know, just.
I think it's just not. It's not the forefront. The hyper violence isn't the forefront of it, and the edgy stuff.
Well, plus they got an actual talented writer involved with the project. Like it's a guy that actually writes things versus like a guy that just writes words on a paper. You know, it's like,
I'm just happy that the Boys show's good, or at least season 2 was season 2 is a lot stronger for me than season 1.
Well, like the show is a little different for me. It's like I do enjoy the show for what it is. It doesn't always go to the edge, you know. It pushes the boundaries, but it doesn't like destroy the boundaries. Just like the book just destroys things, you know. It's like, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. I just want to put this on a page. Where the TV show has to have boundaries, you know. Like you can't show 90% of that stuff that's on the page, you know, anywhere, unless you're going to Pornhub, you know. In like, other than that,
I mean, that we are getting the hero-gasm scene. Not that I have any clue what's in it, but I can figure it out from the name.
I think you're going to get a very watered down teen version of whatever's on the comic. Yeah, they're not. I would be super surprised if they just go full on like whatever that was on the page. You know, you know, like it. There's certain things you just can't do. You know, even if you're Amazon Prime, you just can't do that. You know,
but then again, you know, season 2, The Boys ended up with Homelander. You know, homelanding all over the city.
Yeah, but they didn't like.
Obviously, you didn't see it explicitly, but it's like he did the thing. He did the thing.
Yeah, I think if you see that on the page, they're actually showing him do it, versus like just showing his face. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's a version of the story that's I'm not prude. It's just like, why would I want to see a guy do that? You know, like I don't want to see.
This is part of the reason why I highly doubt Saga will ever make it, because there's a ton. It's not all the violence, but you know, Saga's essentially it's near enough a porn.
But do you think?
It's the closest thing kids have to porn magazines in the year 2021. Let's put it that way.
But do you think they do it? They can do it in a way that it's not like it works, but it still is honest
Tasteful?
to work. Yeah.
I don't know
Like
because I don't. I think Saga doesn't do it tastefully, but I don't think it's like, oh, that's disgusting. I think there's a charm's a very odd word to use for it, but I think there's a charm to how Saga does it.
Well, that and you also got to look who's involved with these like projects. Brian K.
Yeah.
Vaughan is not a 16-year-old boy trapped in a 40-year-old body. Brian K. Mark Millar is like a 14-year-old kid jerking off on a page, and there's a difference between, who puts these things together, because I'm sure Brian K. Vaughan goes, you always got to compromise in ways, but you pick what battles, that you compromise with when you're making this stuff. And it's like, he seems like the type of person that just, again, I don't know the guy, but the way he comes off is like, you know what, as long as they get the point across of what the series is and like pay homage to the actual series, there's always, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it that doesn't involve, page by page, and it still works,
Maybe. Hopefully, Invincible does lead to a Saga adaptation in some shape or form by then, but
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that's what maybe that is Seth Rogen's endgame. He's like, right, I've done The Boys, done Invincible, I'm going for Saga next.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if he's reading Invincible and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure Saga's in his pull box.
Oh, I can guarantee. I guarantee that. I put good money on Seth Rogen reading Saga.
So I look. I'm sure they're working on it as we speak. They're just trying to figure out a way that they can do it without,
So how do we get this dragon getting jacked off scene? Like, how does this fit in here?
You don't have to show him being, jerked off.
That's the thing. For the sake of Saga, you do. You have to see it all. It's so.
We'll see in a couple years if they can, because like Sex Criminals is the same way though. Like if they, there has to be.
You can't get around it with sex. It's the entire bloody premise of the.
It's in the title, But like there is a way to do it without, without. You don't have to compromise as much, but you still have to compromise. It's just a fact, like even the Marvel stuff and DC stuff is always compromise, you just have to, you can't, there's like two things. It's like, you don't want to verbatim copy everything from page to page to screen because it's like, it's boring. Why would someone's read the book? Why are they going to watch it? Yeah. You're going to change, they're going to change things to, I don't know, to make it feel like you're, like that it's new material, not so new, but like it's new.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's always a way of putting things together to make it work. It's just the creative people behind the scenes have to be the right people, and like they have to, pick their battles and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it's we'll see.
Hopefully we will. Hopefully we will. But yeah, so that's going to bring an end to this video. So thanks everyone for stopping by. Go read Invincible, and we'll catch you all next time. So bye bye.